going on, everybody? Oh my goodness. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Say what's up in the chat. Hit the like button on your way in. I had to take a day of rest. I just pooped out. Yeah, I was so tired earlier. I got off of the live stream from Candace at like 5 something this morning and did not realize how exhausted I was. I went to sleep, y'all, and I slept. What's going on, everybody? So that's what happened. I slept, y'all. I was suffering from exhaustion. I was so tired. Um, but I want to thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me. We're gonna do a watch party of Hood Horror series on Polight. I'm not gonna call him brother because I'm just not. He has not earned that title at all. But the first episode was so good. Shout out to Hood Horrors for doing this series. To extend loans to others. I'm sorry, hold on. For doing this series because just like he did with the series on Nature Boy and Carbon Nation, I mean, knocked it out of the park. I definitely am happy at so far. The content he puts together is fantastic, and it deserves all the views that he gets. But information like this, people like this, is what we need to look out for. They don't represent anything good within any community whatsoever. Cult leaders are cult leaders. They could be male, female, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. Hispanic, doesn't matter. And we have to call them out. We have to talk about these things that's going on in any community, especially when minor children are being hurt. And that's what we're speaking on with the Polight series here. And so Hood Horrors, shout out to him. His name is The Shameful Downfall of Brother Polight Part 2. So this is episode 2. I don't know how many more he's gonna have, but we are here for it. And I'm gonna drop the video channel link in the chat. Shout out to Hood Horrors. I'm so glad he's doing this. The first episode ended on like a twister. I believe it was this young lady's brother that was shot. All because, and I can speculate just based on how the story fell down in episode 1. Polight didn't want to move out of the bookstore that he was living in from another cult leader that ended up being sentenced like 135 years in prison because he's an evil soul that was messing with children. You can't make this up. I got your email. I'm so sorry. All of you, I just want to apologize. I went to sleep earlier. But I did get your email, Francisca. And I was the one I just hit a point of exhaustion. And I went to sleep this morning about 6. And I was just so tired. That's what it was. And I've been working, you guys know I have a regular job during the week. So I work during the week, and then I have been doing the late live streams and stuff, and it just catches up to you. And it caught up to me today. I was just out. I needed the rest, My mom, she was in a car accident earlier this week on Sunday, actually. And so just making sure she's okay, helping her with the claim and all of that, whatever she needed from the police, the body cam footage. Got to finish up the FOIA request for that. So it's just been juggling a lot. Plus, I have my kids, and it just wore me out. I just got wore out. I just wore out. So thank you all. Thank you so much, friend. I did get your email. Thank you for checking up on me. Shout out to my mods, y'all. I have the greatest mods here. And I see that you guys were coming in and the mods were holding it down. Black Anonymous. Hey Karma. Is it Karma? Let's see. Did you find out who's Carly Kirk because it needs to be canceled? Okay, I come right back. Shout out to you, Karma, for coming back. Shout out to Black Anonymous. Hey, how are you? It's cold where I am, so I'm making soup while I watch. Oh man, yeah, I was exhausted, like severely exhausted, and so I had to sleep. Yeah, it's like a uncontrollable exhaustion too. I couldn't even help it. So, um, my mom did, came took my youngest son to IHOP and got him some breakfast and food. Came back and I was so out of it. I don't even remember all she said. I was that tired. I was just tired. So you guys, thank you all so much for the support. And ways to donate, if you guys want to donate, the Cash App is scrolling below for supers. I want to be rid of the actual goal, the live stream goal, because I don't want people to feel like they're obligated to donate financially because, small content creators like myself, we get basted. But, Candace Owens gets thousands of dollars in a live stream and she's a millionaire, and somehow that's not a problem. But if you want to financially donate to the channel, ways to donate are Cash App, Zelle, and then, of course, the supers. But make sure you hit that like button so we can keep these videos in the algorithm and go from there. I just appreciate it either way. Um, so a shout out to my moms, y'all. No, I didn't forget about you all. I was just exhausted. Thank you all for coming back. CP time. Redemption says CP time. Yeah, I was out. I was out. And I did not even get the chance to really respond or anything. I got up and make sure my son was okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Laura. I know. I'm so sorry. I was just out. I was out. So we're all good here. I just needed some rest. I just passed out. That was it. I don't even know how to explain it. But I appreciate you guys. I did. I got your email. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to all of you. You guys come on in here. We're about to start our watch party for Polight, the series from Hood Horrors on Polight. And if I can get a mod to drop the YouTube channel link for Hood Horrors, that would be fantastic. Here is the video link so you guys can watch. Exhaustion is real. Yes, it is. I mean, it was severe exhaustion to the point where I don't even remember what my mom was trying to tell me. She had to get a rental car. I know she said she had to get hers fixed. I have to call her tomorrow and see what exactly she was trying to tell me. I was out of it. I was out of it, you all. But thank y'all so much for your patience. I really do appreciate that. And I thank you all for checking up on me. Thank y'all so much. To my mom, shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all. Francisca, Laura, Black Anonymous, and we had a couple other people in here. Carmo came in here. I hope I'm saying your name right. Karmoh. Carmo. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. I don't want to mispronounce it. Oh man. All right, y'all ready? We're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. The time of year is dizzying. Exactly. Going from these holidays. Oh my goodness. But after this, we're gonna go and do a live on Umar as well because uh I there's a lot happening. And I've missed out on, of course, the video he did where he's in the closet again doing another session from Thanksgiving. And then there's some litigation matters moving in court against him from Lene Stacks. So we're gonna go over that in the next live stream. And yes, we're doing that live stream tonight. We're absolutely doing it. Because I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Lord have mercy. Shout out to Lene Stacks for being bold enough to make it happen. That's how it's done. Sometimes you got to take these jokers to court. And then he sends his Oguni goons out to dox people and, all the stuff that Candace Owens does. Yeah, that stuff, you got to take people to court on stuff like that. It's not for play. It's so crazy. A lot is going on. Yeah. There's a whole lot of updates on it. So we're going to, in the next live, do Umar and follow up to see what's happening with this, and she told me she was going to be filing something against them, but it's starting to have some movement. So we are here for it. And I'm going to go over that in the next live. He allegedly sent them out to his daughter. Yeah, allegedly. The daughter said too that, she thinks her father has people out trying to kill her or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. He doesn't even want to admit when he passes out. Yeah, you can't make this up. All right, yeah. Thank y'all so much. We got both going, both live streams. And if you guys also, before I get started, let me um we have, if you guys can see, the name of the channel has been edited just a tidbit to the Lady Luck Club because the second channel has been rebranded. The second channel, the Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea, is going to be where we just talk about trending topics, what's going on in the news, some of these things that's going viral over on TikTok, just gossip and entertainment stuff. That's what the second channel is going to be about. So I'm going to drop the link to the second channel. I need you guys to go over there and make sure you are subscribed because that is going to be where, yeah, when it comes down to like the lady who was attacked with her kids from school, those types of topics are going to be discussed there. You got another case where a lady sued the woman that took, it was a TikToker or somebody, social media influencer, sued the woman that stole her husband and won. Stuff like that we need to discuss, but we're going to discuss it over on the second channel because that's something else. That is something else. So let me drop the channel link. The Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea. Y'all, this is it. I want you all to see this. This is how it's going to go. Y'all see that? Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea. And we're going to be talking about all those good things that's coming over. I'm going to edit some more of it, but because this was supposed to be like a Tommy G, channel, but we're changing it up. So here's the channel link. Let me copy and paste and drop it in the chat. Please make sure you guys go over here and subscribe. I already have 1,700 subscribers. I want to get it up to 2,000. I want to get it up to 2,000. We can do it. And I want to focus on just all the other, things that are trending, all the other topics that need to have some level of discussion. Might not be maybe the independent journalism, research, but it's still something trending topics that just people need to know. A lady being attacked with her kids in Chicago is a problem by other kids. Other children attack this woman and her kids. You can't make this up. So I know I talked about that in the members only, but I want to have the second channel where I do talk about those type of topics over there. Because man, that blows my mind. That blows my mind. So here's the second channel link. You guys, please go subscribe to the Lady Luck Club Sweet Tea. I appreciate all of you all for the support here in the LLC. And we just need that outlet so that I can talk about other things over there. That's what it's going to be for. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. And of course, we're going to still have our usual content here in the LLC, but the LLC with Sweet Tea is just going to be, if it comes down to just the gossiping sessions, that's what that channel is for. And then, because everybody doesn't like to hear about, things like that that's trending on TikTok or something. That to me would be of interest. I think people should be aware. I think people should be aware when a bunch of children of the corn out here attacking a mother and her kids walking home from school. People should be aware of that. Like that's not normal. That should not happen. So, yep, we're going to talk about those types of things over there. But over here, we're still going to continue on. Candace and Umar and do our independent research. Karen Silkwood is another that's coming up. So I just want you guys to go over there, subscribe, and hit the like button. I'll be live streaming as well separately on that channel. Some events and hopefully can do my first one tomorrow. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. So until then, y'all, let's get ready to check out episode 2 of Polight being a deplorable piece of crap. And shout out to Hood Horrors. Thank you all so much. Let's go. Put a 1 in the chat when you can see it here. Let's get to it.
My sister came upstairs and said, the meeting with Polight wants to speak to you. The conversation was about that we were supposed to be having was about the bills of the house, and that the bills needed to be paid. And you're not going to sit here and continue to squat, you know what I'm saying, when bills are literally piling up in my name. Now, my brother, you know, he's a very devoted Muslim. You know, he's born and raised Muslim. He said, I'm going to go downstairs and see what he wants. You know, so that was originally the conversation that we were supposed to be having. It never happened. Instead, all I heard was shots.
Ooh.
One of the brothers got shot in his head.
Shout out to you, Lord. Thank you for the $5 super for the new channel. Make sure you guys check out the new channel and subscribe over there where we're going to be talking about all things sweet tea. All things sweet tea. Let's go.
My brother got shot twice in the head.
So we're going into the second episode here.
Yes, my brother got shot in the head twice. It dismembered his ear and dismembered certain parts. I don't like to even think about it because I was the person that pulled him inside of the house. And I watched my brother bleed all over the floor.
And because I called for the meeting to have with the brother, and he got shot very shortly after the meeting. Of course, I was blamed for the shooting.
It was him and his friend Water and some other guy named Hernandez. You know, it was some Puerto Rican dude that was with him, another really dark-skinned brother. I don't know these people, you know, offhand, but when I see their face, I know all these people's faces for sure. They were the only ones that had guns that obviously, you know, shot my brother inside of the bookstore. As soon as I heard the shot, my first instinct was to run downstairs. I don't know why that was my first instinct, but my first instinct was to run downstairs. I ran downstairs and opened the door to the bookstore and seeing Polight standing right there, him and his friend Water standing right there. I grabbed my brother because he was stumbling. I didn't realize what was really happening. He was stumbling. He stumbled on me, and when you look at the door is like the door to the actual house is like right there next to the store. So I grabbed him inside of the house. I ran upstairs to, you know, potentially to call the cops, ambulance, you know, all of that. And I'm looking at my window and I see Polight running across the street to one of my neighbor's house, throwing away, taking off his shirt and his hat and everything, literally throwing it in their trash.
I was locked up September 19th.
Okay, so he's standing there. He does nothing to help. He doesn't catch the brother falling down. He's not trying to stop the bleeding. This imbecile is running across the street, taking off his clothes. And he had been ID'd. And he's sitting here talking about, oh, you know, well, because I was there and everything, you know, I you know, of course, it was my fault. Whether you pulled the trigger or not, you can still be a co-conspirator. Especially when you didn't call 911. You weren't trying to help him. In that moment, you weren't trying to stop the bleeding. None of that. You didn't yell, hey, somebody call 911. He's been shot. None of that. What does this idiot does? He runs across the street, taking off his clothes to the neighbor's house. You can't make this up. And he doesn't want to look guilty. I mean, that's a sign of a guilty man. Polight is a coward. And I refuse to call him Brother Polight. I'm just not going to do it. That seems like something he needs to earn. Polight is a coward. It's so disgusting. Yeah, I don't want to be blamed for this. But let me run across the street while I'm taking my clothes off and go to the neighbor's house while I still do not call 911. Do not try to stop the bleeding. Don't try to offer any help. Nothing. Let the sister have to drag in this grown man into the house by herself. He didn't even help with that. You can't make this up. You can't, man, this is so disgusting. All because they wanted Polight to move the hell out of their father's bookstore because he didn't want to pay any rent. He had all kinds of sketchy people up in the bookstore. And the father, who was in prison, Never had anything in writing saying that he wanted Polight to still stay there anyway. You can't. This is where how the delusion comes in. Well, he thinks he's entitled to something, and when the brother goes down to have a meeting with him, all of a sudden the brother is shot, and he's standing next to the shooter, and then he sits here and runs across the street taking his clothes off. Not call 911, not do anything that would indicate he's not guilty. What a demon he is. Just a dumb demon.
Or something to that effect. But I wound up being released for that one October 31st, Halloween. I didn't know I was going to be released. The brother refused to testify.
These people continue to threaten my life pretty much the whole time, even after him being incarcerated for the short period of time for the attempt murder.
I was locked up for dismemberment, then they changed it to attempted murder. But needless to say, they tried to subpoena a lot of people. A lot of people wouldn't tell or speak on the event. And I just think it's a blessing because, I'd say for the record, I'm innocent. You know what I'm saying?
The only reason it was dropped was because I was continuously being harassed by...
A man is shot, and all he can talk about is how it's a blessing that he's innocent. Never mind the fact that the man was shot. Oh, I'm innocent. I just thank God for that. But you did nothing to help him. Nothing at all to help him. And this is somebody Umar Johnson hangs out with and has some sort of level of respect for. And he wonders why no one takes his ass serious. Are we noticing a pattern here with these people? No. I'm just happy that I was innocent. And never mind if he was okay or not. It could have been, shot dead. Nope. I don't care about any of that. Nope. She's being harassed naturally because that's how cult leaders act. When they're not getting their way, they stick their Ogoonie goons after people to harass them and stalk them and dox them. Same thing Candace Owens does, Umar Johnson does, all the people that we speak of, Nature Boy, Carbonation, they all have the same characteristics. It's the narcissism for me. It's the narcissism that I'm just sitting here like this is deplorable.
The entire organization every day.
Once this situation rolled over, I really decided I had to separate myself a little more from the gangs.
At some point after his release, Brother Polight would meet Dr. Sebi in person for the first time. By this time, he had been following him for years from a distance. But now he was finally able to thank him face to face for his herbal regimen that he claimed healed the gangrene in his foot. Over the next year or so, the two of them would become good friends. And Dr. Sebi would eventually loan him $15,000 to start a vegan restaurant.
He helped me get my restaurant in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It was called Our Line of Alkaline. And so at the Our Line of Alkaline restaurant, people...
Shout out to my mom. Thank you, S5. How you doing, honey? I was exhausted earlier, so I apologize for the late live, but we're getting into it. This is our episode 2 of Polight, the demon who deserves to be in prison where he is, another cult leader. And somehow one of Umar's besties, God. Birds of a feather flock to damn together.
It was coming far and wide. He invested 15 grand in me. When he heard me articulate my healing process, he said, man, I never was part. He always accredits the healing to nature. He never took the credit. But he said, man, I never seen nature heal somebody who can articulate the process the way you have. Stop cutting that damn okra, shut that restaurant down and teach.
Years later, during the rise of his notoriety, Brother Polight will have the honor of introducing Dr. Sebi during his last lecture in Los Angeles.
Dr. Sebi, Thank you. Give it up again to Brother Polight.
Prior to shutting down the restaurant to embark on his teaching endeavors, Brother Polight had brought a new wife into the relationship, which now made wife number 3. Her name was Lorena, but she would later be known as Anuket. Anuket was a single mother of 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. Her oldest daughter, Tazane, who would later be known as Renente, will be an interesting part of this story later on. Shortly after closing the restaurant and starting to teach, Brother Polight would also start writing books. By the time of his arrest, he had authored over 90 books, ranging from everything from healthy eating to real estate. He would later start a company named New Covenant.
I just want to, reassure you all, he has no experience or education in these topics. He just wrote books because of what he thought and felt about it. No expertise, no licensure, no credentials, no certificates. Sound familiar? Umar went to school, but he still didn't get a license or certification to practice psychology. And yet, for some reason, he felt the need on Thanksgiving Day to still try to do counseling sessions and give advice when the board of psychology told him to sit the F down and shut the F up. Now you have this clown who's also another cult leader believing in polygamy with wife number 3. And how is he making money again? Is it the book thing? Or him, closing down an actual restaurant where he could have had a legitimate business to do some teaching on something he's not educated to do while he practices polygamy? Oh, Lord. You can't have wife number 3 inside the United States of America at the same time. So none of these women are his actual legitimate legal wives. He's just calling them that. Why even call them your wives? You know you're not legally married to them. And then, of course, Polight starts to follow the leader of the dude that was in prison for 135 years that messed with hundreds of kids. And he follows in that footsteps. You can't make this up.
And this is when he would begin soliciting his followers to buy courses in which he would teach them all the tricks to purchase cheap properties with no mortgages. Although up until this point, there's no proof Brother Polight had owned any property himself. He portrayed himself as if he did, and people began buying the courses. He also charged people for status correction, which in short relates to becoming a sovereign citizen.
What?
Please remember the time is now, and in regards to the illustrious and sovereign Nisut Amunre San Atumre, affectionately known by his peers as Brother Polight, no one has created a more effective system for our people than he has in this present day, in terms of running the application of sovereignty and real estate concurrent. While others speculate on these sciences, New Covenant is fully operational.
When you join New Covenant, number one thing that makes what we do in the staff.
Okay, this is a whole scam because the United States of America does not recognize an individual as sovereign. Get the hell out of our country if you think you're sovereign and above our rule of law. You don't like our Constitution and our laws here in the U.S.? Get out. That sovereign citizen nonsense does not work in any court, period. You either learn U.S. laws or the state law to which your case it has jurisdiction under, or you end up losing. That's it. You can't go in there saying I'm a sovereign citizen and then come about with maritime laws and all this nonsense. Oh, I think Morocco used to own the U.S., so I'm not bound by your laws. But then want to talk about how they have rights. They have free speech. No, you're basing that on our U.S. Constitution then. So they pick and choose when they want to apply the U.S. Constitution when they get caught up in court because they're criminals and they want to get away with their crime. The Saracens and Moors don't have any respect for our rule of law. If you don't like it, you don't have to live here. Go back to Morocco. I'm sure that should be fun for you. You can't make this up.
As correction different is that you make money from it.
After Brother Polight saw the success of people buying whatever he was selling, he introduced a life insurance plan through New Covenant as well.
Let's talk about life insurance. I know that sounds like some white people shit. But I tell you what, I got a $180 policy that we provide
he doesn't have to our members.
That for $180 a month, it guarantees your child at least $100,000 upon your expiration. Now, we may not care about that because, shit, I got to do my thing for me. I'm going to let my baby live their life and do their thing for them. But when we become more responsible, we'll understand why the white race is ahead of us. Because one of the main things that takes place in the white community when their parents die is that they inherit wealth. They inherit wealth. You understand what I'm saying? So, you got a whole community of people who have no policy out. And you have another community of people taught you got to have a policy. So when one community dies, the next generation doesn't get shit. They have to start from scratch. And when another community dies, they're inheriting 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand. So I'm talking about inherited wealth. And also, I'm talking about a policy so strong that you could borrow against it. You can use it to extend loans to others, bearing interest to you as a creditor, or you can use it to engage in a...
What's the name of this policy again? Maybe I missed this policy. Is it legal? Is it legal? If it's not legal, all you're doing is passing down debt and a scam and fraudulent activity, setting them up to end up having to stand before a judge to have to explain this as well. What's the name of this policy? What's the name of the bank that's funding this or the insurance company? What underwriter wrote this policy? Anyone hear the the actual name of the insurance policy? I want to know the underwriter that allowed this policy to be passed and go through with all these so-called perks with it. You can't make this up.
He dies, the next generation doesn't get shit. They have to start from scratch. And when another community dies, they're inheriting 20.
I'm trying to figure out what's the policy.
But I tell you what, I got a $180 policy that we provide a new covenant to our members. That for $180.
Who's the underwriter? He said he has a $180 new policy. They provide a new covenant to our members for $180. Who is the licensed certified underwriter for that damn policy? Did anyone hear that? Because I didn't. Ain't no way that's valid. I know, right? Who would work with new covenant? A cult. A cult filled with soft sits that believe that they're above the rule of law in the country that they choose to live in. What underwriter wrote that BS policy? It's such a scam. How is life insurance a white thing? Exactly. The way that money is passed down, old money, as they say it has to be done legitimately. You can't create a scam or a fraud and think you're going to pass down this scam and fraud to the next generation and somehow it's supposed to flourish. Because at some point, the Fed's going to catch up to your ass. You can't make this up. I'm still trying to hear for this so-called underwriter that wrote this BS policy. This scam of a policy here.
$80 a month. It guarantees your child at least $100,000 upon your expiration. Now, we may not care about that because, shit, I got to do my thing for me. I'm going to let my baby live their life and do their thing for them. But when we become more responsible, we'll understand why the white race is ahead of us. Because one of the main things that takes place in the white community when their parents die is that they inherit wealth. They inherit wealth. You understand what I'm saying? So, you got a whole community of people who have no policy out, and you have another community of people taught you got to have a policy. So when one community dies, the next generation doesn't get shit. They have to start from scratch. And when another community dies, they're inheriting 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand. So I'm talking about inherited wealth. And also, I'm talking about a policy so strong that you could borrow against it. You can use it to extend loans to others, bearing interest to you as a creditor, or you can use it to engage in a vehicle endeavor, or even a mortgage. You can use your policy to do such a thing and still not compromise the original momentum of the policy, which is to extend something to the beneficiary after your passing.
Brother Polight's charismatic nature and unique style of delivering his message had begun catapulting him to the top ranks of the conscious community. Sonetta TV would play a major role in his early success by platforming him on his YouTube channel for debates, in which Brother Polight almost always dominated.
Name one slave master that didn't oppress us on the strength of his religion.
He didn't name that insurance policy at all, or the person that was the underwriter for it. So you know it's BS. It's a scam. Yeah, pretty much. It's shady. I've seen a few videos on YouTube where people have claimed to be sovereign, are arrested and go to jail, some of them for squatters' rights. Yeah, no, what they do is they just go and occupy a home because they believe that they're Moors American or something like that, and believe that Morocco owned the United States or occupied the territory of the U.S. before the U.S. was established as a country. And so they claim that they're reclaiming back the land that belonged to them or to their ancestors, because it doesn't belong to them. If anyone just walked around on Earth and did that, we would be dealing with that crap all day. So if you have any person walking around saying, hey, this land used to belong to my ancestors, and then you come up with some random name for your ancestors, anyone would be able to do that and get away with it if we didn't have laws to stop it. What they're doing is stealing somebody's house. I can't just walk into a house, whether it's bought and occupied or not, and just say, this house belonged to my ancestors 500 years ago, and I'm just reclaiming the property. They're going to lock me up for vandalism, trespassing, for theft of property. I'm going to jail. That's it. They try to claim squatters' rights because they think that they're owed due process. But if you're squatting, you're squatting. You don't need to tell someone that you think that this belonged to some ancestor from Morocco if you're squatting. But that's if you've lived in a home for a certain period of time. And you have a lot of states changing the laws on squatters' rights too, because they're sick of it. Then you have these sovereign citizens and these soft sits and these Moors people that go around and they put liens against police officers, against judges. They put liens against them, thinking that that's going to give the control of that property or have these officers coerced to doing what they want them to do by putting some sort of lien on them against their insurance policy. They do all this fraudulent stuff and then don't realize that they can go to jail for doing that. Putting a lien on a judge's home? The epitome of crazy. And for what? This judge is still not going to give you the ruling you want. They're just going to get that lien taken off, and then you're still going to get locked up. Bottom line. This is what they do. Because they think they run shit and they don't. He could have just kept his restaurant open and had a legitimate business. No, he wants to sit here and create fraudulent life insurance policies where he thinks that he gets to loan it out. You get to loan out your insurance policy and somehow get a return on investment with that. Where's this ROI coming from again? Why do it with a policy? Why don't you have $50,000 and just loan it out and then make people repay you with interest? You can't make this up.
So me one that oppressed us without a religion. Name me one. And then tell me religion is not our biggest issue. And show me one instance where we didn't get oppressed by a slave master and take on his religion after. Show me one.
His beliefs, which fell in line with Dr. York's teachings, completely denounced modern-day religions and kept them at odds with many others in the conscious community.
How you gonna get mad at us for embracing ancient Egypt when they left documentation for the people? Because they know their children need to know that it's real, because they know the black mind. A sane black mind says, I want to see this thing to be proven fact. The ancient Egyptians know how black people think. So they say, yo, we're going to leave the records here so you can see, because I know my children do not just merely believe. I know my children as God. The number one thing that makes you God, the number one thing that punctuates your divinity is your ability to question. From your ability to question, you're able to discern and you're able to definitively conclude as to what's right or what's wrong. Now, the God of the Bible didn't feel it suffice to take pictures, didn't feel it suffice to build these edifices and leave documentation. We have to take publications manufactured by men with different versions and different translations. This is what we left with, King James versions of the Bible. We have to be left with this, but in ancient Egypt, it's right there.
At one point during his career, he would shoot up a holy Bible, which outraged many people.
Hold on, can't see the rest of the sentence. Too much fucking holes in it. Look at that shit. That's right. Now it's a holy Bible. That's right.
Oh my God. You know, there's just some people that they have to learn the hard way. God has no problem teaching you the hard way. None. He's God. He gets to do that. He's literally making a mockery of the Bible by calling it Holy Bible with holes in it, as opposed to understanding holy, Holy, being having a reverence and respect for it, a fear, to where you have that respect and fear that if you do something that would be a mockery, there's some punishment or penalty. This is his way of mocking Christianity. Of all the things, the Holy Bible is what he shoots up. God has no problem teaching you a lesson. None. And he'll teach you a lesson properly, and he'll teach you for many years to come. Polight is one of those examples as to, okay, I'll show you. And now he's in prison. Hope he never gets out. This is so disgusting. And it's unnecessary. What was the point of this? If you don't want to read the Bible, don't read it. What was the point of shooting it up and then live streaming this? What point are you proving?
Clearly the Holy Bible right now.
Written across the top of the Bible, Brother Polight shot up with the letters ISUPK, which is also known as the Hebrew Israelites. Brother Polight and the Hebrew Israelites had been at odds since he first stepped onto the scene, regurgitating Dr. York's teachings. The most prominent person spearheading the ISUPK movement in New York City is Captain Desariac.
If you can show me what is corrupt in the Bible, then I'll stop using it. The problem is you cannot show what's corrupt in the Bible. If nigger was not in the Bible, then you would have something against me. If the Bible didn't say the Jews were black, you might have something against me. If Solomon himself, King Solomon, did not say, I am black but comely, if he did not say that, then you might be able to say something to me about saying that it's corrupt. If you can show me that our slavery is not in the Bible, then you might also have a chance. But you cannot show me that those things are not in the Bible. So when you say, why do we keep following the Bible, is because I ain't find nothing else on the planet that identifies who I am.
Besides their different outlooks on the Bible and religion, another major disagreement that Captain Desariac had with Brother Polight was that the black woman is God. This was something Polight promoted that Captain Desariac adamantly disagreed with.
We can give you a 10-hour lecture on this and do the debate the day after. That's right. With new content. There's no debate in the black woman is God.
The tension between Captain Desariac and Polight would come to a head later on down the line when Polight got into a disagreement with one of the members of the Hebrew Israelites. Polight would get offended when the member called him out for following Dr. York and pointed out the fact that he was his spiritual father and a pedophile.
But he's supposed to lead black people, a man who gets this emotional when it is a proven fact that his father is a molester.
He's doing all that.
You don't know that? You've been molested since what, the 70s, 80s? Since the 60s.
My father's a molester.
Lord have mercy. That's what you gotta understand, man. That's what you gotta understand.
Say it again.
Let me tell you something, bro. So you're telling me he's not? You're telling me he didn't get convicted? And now you initially want to get carnal? Your spiritual daddy is a child molester.
He went to jail for 135 years. That's exactly what he was. He said his spiritual daddy is committed essay on children. Even his own Dr. York person, his own biological children admitted that he did that. Polight calls himself sitting down and talking with one of the victims and tried to make it seem like it was the victim's fault. You didn't say anything when it was happening then. But then when they said something and you have people coming out overwhelmingly, and look at the people who are speaking out. His own children spoke out against him. And Polight ignored it. Like facts and evidence don't exist. That's the delusion that this idiot lives in. The man is in prison, went to prison for 135 years. And Polight is sitting here defending that because he's disgusting. And he's just like Dr. York. You can't make this up.
He raped that little boy because men like you and men in the conscious community, the only thing that they can do is destroy our people. You got no answers. You got no solutions. You are not a leader for no people.
Is that you're a white man trying to cause confusion?
You got it, Chris.
You're a white man that's going to make black men fight each other. There you go. You're a white man that's going to cause black people to fight each other.
Let me tell you how much of a bitch Polight is. What the brother said was correct. His spiritual father, who he called, who's a fucking child. Your father is a child molester, period. And he got in his feelings. He got mad. And he thought he was going to punk out his eye. If you want to cross the road, cross the fucking road. That's what you do. Don't sit here and talk shit like what's going to pop up, what's going to do this. If you're going to cross the line.
And he can't, and what this dude is saying is correct. There are court documents to prove Polight wrong. He said it is factually correct that the man committed essay against children. Some as young as 4 and 5 years old. What the hell are we? What world are we living in? And Polight is sitting here getting mad about it. It is a fact. He did it. He did it. He did it. He went to prison for 135 years. He's gonna die there. And Polight is trying to defend it if the man isn't already dead. What's going on, Mr. Defender? How you doing? You can't make this up. And Polight is trying to defend Dr. York. Prove it. Prove it. The courts already did that, you imbecile. And he thought he was going to just punk that guy because he was shorter. So the big guy here stands in between them. And he's like, what this man is saying is not a lie. It is factually correct. He went to jail. He was sentenced to 135 years. His own children speaks out against him. And here Polight is getting all of his feelings over something that's factually true. Dr. York is a monster. He is a demon. He's an evil entity that should have not roamed upon this earth. For what he did, he was sentenced to 135 years. And Polight is somebody that Umar Johnson considered a friend and close to. The depravity of this is unbelievable.
Cross the line. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. That's what you do.
Besides his issues with the Hebrew Israelites, whispers began circling around the conscious community about Polight scamming people. Some of his followers began speaking out.
I got a settlement from a car accident. I got $22,000 from a settlement in a car accident, and I spent $5 of that $22,000 with Brother Polight and didn't get a single dime back. That's my dumb ass. That was my dumb ass fault. Just because you black don't mean you my people. I'm gonna get that out the way. And because like all black, because the people that Brother Polight is taking advantage of is people that are ignorant. I was ignorant at one particular time. I'm not ignorant no more. For those who are just innocent and just, you know, about to make that mistake, don't make that mistake.
I became a member simply by seeing the YouTube videos, hearing the podcast about the information that was being spread. So he was basically talking about helping people buy tax liens and deeds, which I've done both before in the past. And I'm thinking, hey, this is a black business. I can support that at the same time. As soon as I became a member, a brother by the name of Lawan called me up. Oh, I'm your caseworker. Hey, you ready to get your status correction started? It'd be $550, and this is going to complement your ability to purchase more real estate at a discounted rate. Cool, no problem. Send it over. After my $550 was in his hands, oh, you need to fill out this, you need to fill out that, and hey, if you ever need me, you can contact.
I just want you all to know it's not me. This is the actual video where it has no image available. But this is a scam victim because I told you all that insurance policy Polight was trying to push for $180 was a scam. He couldn't even name the underwriter for those insurance policies. And those insurance policies have to be written according to the we have a whole commission that deals with insurances. These underwriters have to be licensed and certified. So you just can't create a life insurance policy or any type of insurance policy without it coming from an underwriter. So because he's an idiot and he didn't know that, and he had people believing that he could just create a policy out of nowhere. That's not how it works. The insurance commission would not even know these policies exist. And yet he's pushing this out, get this, ironically, to Black communities while he claims that he's trying to help Black communities. But he pushes a scam out to these communities. People are paying up this money, and when they realize it's a scam, he ghosts them, or he doesn't pay them back, or he just ignores them. He sends out the old Goonie Goons to harass them, bully them, and all this other stuff in an effort to keep these people's money. Same thing with Umar. Oh, let me build a school for Black boys and let it take 15 years to never happen. But if people start asking about accountability, well, they're not my supporters asking. No, you're a scammer, and you're supposed to be putting out information on how money is being spent. And yes, your donors are the ones asking. People like me are going to push forward on it and do some journalism, some research, and put out information just to confirm how much of a scammer you are. It's the same thing with Umar. They just scam their own people. They scam Black communities, and then they want the Black communities to keep supporting them. No, kick rocks and go to jail.
Along the way, I did need him. I did need to contact him. And text messages came back, oh, I'm busy, excuse after excuse after excuse. I paid $550 for a status correction that never happened. I paid $750 to attend the auction.
A status correction, that's crazy.
I purchased a couple of books, got some books never came. Long story short, I also paid for credit repair, $450. This is over a 4 or 5 month time.
Let me tell y'all something. And I have to pause to give commentary because, you know, Hood Horse does a great job, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just copying it. This is part of reactions. So I always put the link to the original video in the chat if you guys want to see it flat out first, and then check out my content for the commentary, by all means. But for credit repair, you don't need anyone to do that for you. You can dispute any, information that you see on your credit reports. You'd be better off just paying for, let's say you want to upgrade access to your credit report with Experian or TransUnion or with Equifax. They have, options where you can pay for a monthly fee and be able to dispute anything on your credit report, down to your names, your addresses you've lived at, contact information, anything with open lines of credit. You can dispute these things. And if you can show evidence that it doesn't belong on your credit report, or it's been outdated, meaning it's termed out or expired past the 7 years, they will remove it. You don't need to pay $400 or $500 if you could just pay $35 a month. And then for however long it takes for you to dispute it, you end up saving money and you've done it on your own. It's that simple. You don't need to pay hundreds of dollars for somebody to repair your credit. You shouldn't even want people to even have your information like that. Your credit should be something you keep to yourself. It has a lot of sensitive information in it and connected to it. Don't give out your credit information or let just anyone go and repair it for you. Do it on your own. Just dispute the things and read your own credit report and dispute what's not correct. Do that by yourself so that you don't have to worry about this information getting out. They're probably collecting people's names and date of births and social security numbers and all this other stuff and using their, information for identity theft. There's no such thing as a status correction. There's nothing Polight can do to correct your credit. Nothing. What was he thinking? Like, y'all, please make sure y'all look up on how to just, get a 20, 30. I have a service I have with Experian. I can get access to credit reports. I can lock and freeze my credit accounts for me and my children. That way, anyone that tries to pull anything, I get alerts. I get notifications. Even when you file your taxes, you can have an IP PIN so that in the event, let's say you've had a breach or something like that when Equifax had this breach. Ever since then, I've been using a PIN to process my taxes. So when the IRS receives my tax returns, I have to share the PIN with them, and then they have to generate a PIN that is specific to my tax file that they do not give out in order to process your taxes. Without that, they can't even do it. They can't even do it. So that keeps that security measure in place. Don't go and hire some raggedy ass moron who has no education or certification in anything. They're not tax consultants. They can't repair your credit. They can't do any of that stuff. Don't pay them to do that. That's a scam. It's a scam. So take ownership and do it yourself. What's going on? Emery Rick said, I blame my generation for not teaching the next generation to recognize these scammers. Social media made it way too easy for old scams to work. Yep. Mr. DePitta said, Emery, good point. They're recycling old scams from the 80s and 90s. Exactly. Mr. DePitta said, this is inmate hustle math. Black Anonymous, shout out to you. Shout out to my mods. I appreciate you all. The status correction stuff was crazy. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a scam. I don't give out your information because your credit report has all kinds of confidential information on it. Don't give that to anybody. Keep that under lock and key. Get a freeze done to your credit files. If you're not purchasing a home or a car or trying to get a loan, there's no reason for your credit files to even be open. Get it locked or get your credit files frozen until you're ready to use it. That way you get alerts and nothing can happen to it. In the meantime, my kids, minors, no one needs to be using their credit reports for anything. So I have them frozen. And then as they get older, when they're ready to buy something major and they need to have their credit report ran, then they can, by that point, they'll be, legal adults. Then they can take it from there. But I'm teaching them now as kids to keep that stuff frozen until you're ready to use it. This is the information we should be passing down to our kids.
On after I pay, why I'm not getting any type of documentation, any type of response, any type of anything related to the $450 that I paid in reference to a credit repair. And it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. But
that's crazy.
I also understand that some people are going to doubt what I'm saying, what others have said, and I'll simply just ask this. Well, if you're doubting what I say, why don't you pay for your status correction and let's see what happens? Why don't you go buy a property and let's see what happens?
When you watch Polight's video, there's good information there. The problem is when it's time to do something with him that involves anything with money, getting into his program or whatever, it's always a hesitation. Like, should I be doing this? There's too many unanswered questions. Nobody should be sending money because of all the unanswered questions, all the fucking accusations, all the people that said that they didn't receive their shit, all the people that saying that they got robbed of money. And it's a lot of accusations by credible people. I think he needs to come out and deal with that shit. Look, this is what happened. People didn't receive their, all right, if you did something, I made a mistake. I made a mistake in how I was running my business. I apologize. That alone will do something.
I don't feel sorry for none of y'all that get got by the conscious community. I don't feel sorry the same way I don't feel sorry for all of these people that's donating to these doggone pastors and turning around, and these pastors is living in mansions while you going back to the hood. And they not giving nothing back to the community. That's your fault. That's your fault. Y'all scamming yourselves. These people ain't scamming you. You scamming yourself. Half y'all dudes giving all this money to Polight, or y'all sisters giving all this money to Polight. I could guarantee you one half of your family members can't even come borrow $10 from you. But you're going to give a total stranger $10,000? Good for you. Remember, I said it. Good for you. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for nobody stupid enough to put their trust in Polight dumbass.
Polight will ultimately move his family to Florida, into a beautiful house in which he claimed was mortgage-free, and that he only paid $4,000 for it.
I think Brother Polight is broke. He's using other people's names to buy all these hotels and all these cars. He's doing everything off everybody else's name.
Basically, we prayed for this and we got it. We're very happy. We're very grateful. We're not doing this to boast. We're doing this to show you that you too can have this.
Don't give them your money. And be careful for all these reviews. How these scammers get us with these reviews is, oh man, this is the best class ever.
You put the information attached and it's worked out for you?
Yeah, it's worked out. It's made some bread, you know what I mean? And just basically everything that you taught in your book about how to structure your family.
All right, his name is Leon, the cook. This is the property I bought at this last auction out in Adams County, Pennsylvania.
Now you know what it is to live a day of my life. All this property going all the way back for $50.
This is the best information out right now.
Dude, if they don't show a piece of paper with a that's signed by a judge or signed by the Better Business Bureau, whatever, if you don't see legitimately like what's going on paper, stop believing that somebody made $1 million or maybe $100,000 off X, Y, and Z. Anybody can say that. Anybody can write a review and say this thing helped me and I suggest it.
Despite the numerous amount of people that were trying to bring awareness to Polight scams, as time passed, more and more people continued to invest. The more money that began to roll in, the more glamorous his lifestyle became.
There's been certain sabotage going on as far as my business is concerned, as far as my personality and name goes. I managed to see it through. And in fact, branding-wise, I've done better than I've ever done within this last year.
Eventually, him and his family will leave Florida and move to California.
Oh, look at that. We in Cali for real. You see that car?
So he ran because he started getting a lot of questions and a lot of people demanding their money back. That's what this comes down to. You know, because he's a coward and all. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, man. I heard of Hassan say what he said, right? Hassan Campbell. The reason why I don't blame everybody is because some people would not have done it if they would have just known up front who he is and what he was about. Maybe even known about his so-called spiritual daddy. They probably would not have even entertained him. Now, me personally, my church gives out, tax statements that you can use to file your taxes. And it has just an overview of your contributions for the entire year. They also allow people to see exactly where the funds for the church you give to are going. And it has a dollar amount. So there are some churches that do the right thing. And they, despite the fact they're 501c3s, they actually show, the expenses. They actually give their parishioners a tax statement. If you pay tithes and offering, they give you a tax statement to use to file with your taxes. And then they give you a breakdown of what that money has gone towards. So I'm not saying that every person is an idiot because they did that. Now, one thing is people need to understand basic fundamentals of certain things, like how insurance policies are written. That's something you have to be educated and taught to know, that insurance policies are written by underwriters that are licensed. So no one can just sell you an insurance policy. That's an automatic scam. You don't have to believe that to be true. You can look that up and research that. And then the credit repair stuff, no. Even if someone does go out and dispute some things on your credit for you, just know you can do it yourself. I wouldn't trust someone like him who sits here and defends somebody that's SA'd over, hundreds of kids. Some as young as 4 years old, and he's now, received a sentence of 135 years in jail. And you're defending that? I wouldn't trust you to repair anything. I just wouldn't. I don't give a damn what it is. I wouldn't even trust you to come out and cut my grass. I got kids. You can't even come near my property. I don't even want you to know where I live. As a matter of fact, let me go so far as to say this. I don't even want you to know that I exist. That's how far a distance and space I'm putting between someone like a Polight. You don't even need to know that I exist on earth, okay? You would never come near me and my family, my kids, my nothing, my house. Don't email me. I have, like, there is nothing that I desire from someone like that to help me do anything. But when we choose to sit and say, well, he's saying a bunch of good things and he's trying to help, but what is he helping? He's taking advantage of the very community that he's sitting here saying that he protects. Oh, the black queen, the black women of God. But yet you have 3 wives, meaning that you're not paying attention to one person. You can't show any sign of faithfulness and commitment to one woman. Why do you need 3 wives that you're just calling wives because you're not legally married to any of them? But yet they're the gods. Shouldn't they be the ones determining how many husbands they're going to have? I mean, just for the sake of conversation here. So the black woman is God, and yet you're forcing her into a polygamous relationship with your dumb behind and 2 other women. Make that make sense? Make that make sense? There has to be a level of accountability. What's going on, RTs? How you doing, huh? Shout out to my moms. I appreciate you. Kel says, when I see Polight, I can't help but to think about crypto roots. Exactly. Crypto scammer through and through. If he understood how crypto works, he would scam the black community with crypto scams. Something you have people do. People who are scammers, they're scammers. They don't care who they scam. But he wants to see here and talk about being pro-black and soft sits and Moors and blah, blah, blah. That soft sit stuff doesn't work in court, people. Judges don't care about your so-called Moorish nonsense and soft sit mentality. Maritime laws don't apply in court, especially in a criminal matter. Find out the hard way. There are a lot of videos about these soft sits thinking they have the right to travel, but yet somehow can't use common sense and logic to believe and understand that travel could mean by you walking with your 2 legs and 2 feet or getting on a bus. Travel is not limited to a motor vehicle. And they think that they can actually just drive without a license or without a tag or without insurance. And they shouldn't have to get it because of reasons. Then they find out the hard way when they get tickets and they have to go to court, then they go to jail. If they don't show up, there's a warrant for their arrest. And that warrant is going to sit there until they go to court. These are the same people that are willing to be criminals in our society, draining tax dollars in the courts because they want to sit here and have a full jury trial for a freaking ticket that could be easily rectified if they just get some damn insurance. It's like a leech upon society. We don't need that. And yet they don't pay taxes into our society either. They don't believe in working. They just believe in scamming people, thinking people owe them money, I guess. It's supposed to come on a silver platter. The idea of him having an actual legitimate restaurant, somehow he didn't even think twice about that. But he scammed people with these so-called corrections and these insurance policies you think you can loan out to other people. It's so stupid. These are the same people, talking about, I care about the black community, the conscious community. Now, I'm not in the conscious community, but it seems like a whole lot of scammers like this are in the conscious community. Polight, Umar, all these, the Nature Boy, Young Pharaoh. And then those are the four that I know I've personally talked about or seen in content that claim to be a part of this conscious community, that do nothing but rake the coals over of the black people in these communities. It's disgusting. Oh my goodness. What's going on, RTs? How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see here. This is a retreat from accountability. Yep. These scams are all easy to fact check. People have to do the footwork to protect themselves. Absolutely. And if you're young, I think that let's say it's some 18, 19-year-olds, right? It might just be a matter of just educating them and telling them this. Do I expect them to look the stuff up? Yes, I do. Are they going to do it? 18, 19, 20-year-olds? Probably not. That's why I teach my kids now. And that goes back to parenting. The accountability can definitely be put on some of these parents to teach them, how to protect and take care of their credit, their personal information, social security numbers, stuff like that. Don't just go out and get loans. And just don't go out and just believe what somebody says without fact checking and researching this stuff. People want to take people at their word, but you don't owe them that. That's the difference. I teach my kids, you don't have to believe what someone says if they say something that doesn't make sense. You can question them or just research it and look it up. Don't ever feel like you just got to believe anything someone says. If you have your doubts about it, question it. So for them, I'm already teaching them, lock down your credit. I've kept it frozen for a reason, because no child's credit should just be out there being used. So I keep it frozen. But when they get older, they will understand the art of, I'm not releasing information about my credit, and I don't need anybody to help me correct it either, because I don't want anybody to get my information related to my credit. Anything I need to dispute, my mom taught me how to dispute it. That's part of my responsibility as their mother, to teach them that. So that when somebody like a Polight comes along talking about, you pay me $500, I can correct your credit for you. No, I can do that myself. My mom already taught me that. So there's a level of accountability that comes from the parents and just to the individual. Once you're of age and you're able to make decisions for yourself, research and read information. Don't just follow the masses and think this is just, don't be lazy about it, because it can be that too. It can be a matter of laziness. I don't want to have to do this on my own. Stop being lazy. Go ahead and do it. Do what you need to do. And you'll be amazed how fast that, Equifax or Experian will, research and investigate a dispute on your credit and clear it off. You'll be amazed at how fast that can happen. But you got to put in the work to doing it. So yeah, I agree. There's definitely some accountability. How to structure your family, because one size fits, right? Yeah, they can sit here just having polygamous relationships all over the place. This cannot be a reflection of what the majority of people think in the conscious community, where it's okay to have polygamy. It just can't be that way. I refuse to believe it's that way unless I've been misinformed here. Y'all let me know. Is polygamy a thing in the conscious community? Is that common? Like, is that an accepted practice? Where black women are gods, but yet they somehow are subjected to some mere mortal man. And then they're bringing their kids around people like Polight. Why? His spiritual daddy is Dr. York, and you bring your children around this man? Yeah, just let me know if I'm off base. It is the conscious community a believer of polygamy? Let me ask that before I assume that it's a horrible thing. Let me ask that. Here we go. Sabotage. These cult members are lethal. They just recycle the same scams. Hey, Mira, how you doing, honey? Cult leaders, I got you. Yep. Meraki, what's up? Everybody speak to everybody. I appreciate it. YouTube seriously needs to add an edit option for its users. I know, right? Funny how the black woman is God, but not respected. Exactly. She's not respected. She's not allowed to pick multiple husbands. I mean, if she's God, why not? Okay, well, it should be the other way around. You should be one of her husbands. Because insecure men don't care. And I'm asking a serious question here. If it's something where I'm, the conscious community do uphold, okay, Mira said nope, only for Muslims and Mormons. Okay. Because I'm like, maybe they have polygamy, and I'm just, I just don't see how you could say that's a wholesome family unit. And in the United States of America, you're not legally married to all these people. Like, shows like Sister Wives are just of the devil. It just gives off the wrong idea. And people see that and they follow it. And then they talk about, well, you got this man on the show, this white guy that has sister wives. Why we can't have? Because you're saying black women are gods. So technically, she should be the one picking her husband's plural. But, I'm like, maybe I'm missing something when it comes to the black conscious community. So far, Mira said no, they don't practice polygamy in the black conscious community. Because it just seems like it's just too many people that we're researching and reporting on that are connected or claim to be a part of the black conscious community where they believe in polygamy, where they are trying to actively practice polygamy. So if that's something that they do, let me know. It's okay, Darker. I wasn't sitting alert for this live. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications to all. If you subscribe, there's a bell next to it. You got to do the drop down box and don't let it sit at the default. Select all notifications. That way you'll get all notifications, because the default may not even give you a third of the live streams and the videos that I post up. You probably won't even get a third of those notifications. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but make sure you select all notifications when you subscribe to the Lady Luck Club so you can get all of them, because YouTube is not even going to give you half of them. YouTube sucks. The S-File said, I know I didn't see it. We're going to watch Temple in the next Candace video. They watch too many rap music and video clips. LLC, when you have some time, research Yahweh ben Yahweh and the nation of Yahweh. Is that the black Israel? Emery, is that the black? Are they black Israel Hebrewites? Israel Hebrewites? What do they call themselves? And if not understanding, they've been put on the list of terrorists, domestic terrorists, black. Let me look it up right quick. Black Israelites have been added to the list. Yeah, they've been added to the list of domestic terrorists. What? You can't make that. What are they doing? I mean, listen, I don't get down into these subsets like this. When it comes to being a Christian, either you're saved by God's grace or you're not. Saying you're a black Israelite, I mean, you should be just reading the Bible, right? It's my understanding they were added to the list of domestic terrorists. I'm trying to pull that up because I don't want to misquote. Domestic terrorists. Maybe we'll watch like a video on what they do, because I'm trying to figure out what are they doing to where, how bad is it to where they felt they're not added on. Contemporary violent extremism in the black Hebrew Israelite. Racist black Hebrew Israelites becoming more militant. Yeah, I'm looking at Southern Poverty Law Center becoming more militant. What are they doing? Aren't they just a religious group? I could have sworn I saw something. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to find it. If once saying something that they were added to domestic terrorists. I could be wrong though. If y'all come across something else, let me know. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Like, you don't want to be known as a domestic terrorist. Now you have the FBI and everybody else watching, and you're supposed to just be following the Bible here. I don't. Why does it have to lead to terrorism here? Oh man. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. Let's get back to it.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Hydraulics. We in Cali. Let me get next to him and show love. I'm on live. I'm on Facebook Live. I'm trying to show them how Cali get down. Nice.
Not long after the move, he would be contacted by one of his followers who wanted his mentorship. His follower was a YouTuber by the name of Crypto Roots.
My father died from a heart attack, and I didn't know I was getting money. I got some life insurance money, and I was just gonna travel and do my thing, but I was following Brother Polight for years, and so as soon as I got paid, I hit him up for the mentorship. Immediately, I was sending him money, and because I had to send him money so often, we ended up kind of talking and being cool. And then he offered for me to come to LA to buy a condo and to rent that out. So I trusted him, and I went to LA.
When Crypto Roots arrived in LA, Brother Polight promised his followers that he, along with Crypto Roots, will be starting a crypto course that would guarantee everybody who enrolled will be making money within weeks by investing in cryptocurrency.
We're gonna go. Let's get into the crypto economics.
You gotta turn it around.
Oh God, you
I got you. Let's get into this crypto. Let's get into this crypto economics. Let's get
Crypto Roots on YouTube, McNaughty Dread on Instagram. As far as like real value and scarcity, people are saying Bitcoin is one of the most scarce things next to time. And we can break down the numbers later, but there's 21 million Bitcoin that can ever be created, and they're already estimating 6 or 7 million will never have access to. So break down the math, maybe 15 or 16 million Bitcoin divided by 7.5 billion people. You're looking at possibly one of the most valuable assets we have seen in the last couple thousand years. So what's happening is a lot of these coins are fractions of a penny. And it's not going to hurt to drop $10 on something like that. It's not.
A lot of those coins were created by scammers too. I literally, when I was doing reporting and research on Novatech, which was a so-called, it was a scam, it was a pyramid scheme, but they were alleging that they were trading crypto in Bitcoin and stuff on behalf of their, donors and clients. What was happening is they were doing what's called booking. So it was more of an in-house trading, and the coins that they gave to people in exchange for real money or real Bitcoin had no value to it because it was fake. And what they did was they say, okay, you give us $100, we give you X amount of, these so-called fake crypto coins, and then we'll trade that for you. People like myself were reporting that it was fake. They made this stuff up because it wasn't in the regular stock market. They were trading it in-house. So that crypto coin that Novatech was using was only valuable to the people of Novatech because it never went out to the actual market to be traded on the market because it was fake. And the FTC doesn't play that shit. So what they'll do is they see that there's some sort of fake crypto being actually traded on the open market, that'll get flagged immediately. It's not even a slow thing. It gets flagged. So Novatech decided, all right, well, we'll just do it in-house and just tell them that we're trading it on the open market. They weren't doing anything like that. And they were finally charged by the SEC. They had a federal lawsuit filed against them from a prominent law firm in New York, and the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, to whom the court has already said they're not going to actually try her again on none of her mortgage loan stuff, fraud that she was doing. So she also filed a complaint against Novatech as well. And the FBI is still investigating them. This crypto scam stuff is not a joke. And a lot of people don't understand the premise to which Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was established to be. It was supposed to be a peer-to-peer cashless system, but yet you can't use crypto or Bitcoin to buy gas or buy groceries. Last time I checked, you can't even use crypto to pay your utility bills. So what good is the money? It's like a game. You're just trading it around and it goes to the highest bidder. But if it's fake, You have these scammers that are telling you they're trading for you, or that they're selling you real crypto and it's not even real. And then when you try to put that fake crypto on the open market, then you find out the hard way that it's fake and it has no value. So all they're doing is using it to get you to give them real money that you need to buy houses, pay bills, and everything else, or else they themselves would be using the crypto, because that's how logic works. If it's so valuable, then why would they want you to give up real money? And then they say that the American dollar is losing its value. So why are you wanting millions of dollars? That's my whole thing. Why do you want millions of dollars in exchange for this fake crypto that can't even be used to take care of everyday essentials? Because last time I checked, you can't go to Walmart and buy groceries with Bitcoin or with crypto. They don't accept it because of the instability of crypto. Crypto tokens can be created by random. I showed a video of how another content creator went through the steps of how one could even create a fake crypto coin. And he did it for awareness so that people could see a lot of these crypto tokens and stuff that you had celebrities, you had, I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried is in prison forever because he did this. He built the whole company on something that was fake. That FTX, that was a fake crypto coin. It had no value to it, but he was selling it to people for millions of dollars, having them believe that this FTX crypto coin had actual value, and it didn't. They couldn't take that coin and trade it on the open market. They couldn't do nothing with that coin, and people were paying thousands to hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars investing in FTX. The same thing with Novatech. And turn out these are scams, large scale pyramid schemes. It's that just that level of education and information goes a long way. And I took time, my Novatech playlist, y'all check it out. I took time to go through certain laws, how the SEC operates, how they evaluate these coins, the difference between A book trading and B book trading. Go through legal concepts, the lawsuit documents, the court filings. And it applies to other scams related to crypto. And let me tell y'all something. You thought it was a cult with Candace Owens and Umar. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to money like that, child, I had I had scammers in India leaving comments in my videos with Novatech in a whole new language. I had to learn another language just to cuss their ass out. It's crazy. I had to learn a little bit of Hindu to cuss them out. Because when I first started talking about it, scammers don't want their money to stop flowing, but they're scammers. They didn't earn it. So it's like, I feel nothing about exposing a scammer or a scam within a huge company like a Novatech or FTX. And ensured that the FBI and the SEC received a complaint from me, so they can lock their asses up. These Petions got to go to prison just like Sam Bankman-Fried is already there. Petions are next. And pushing these fake crypto got a lot of these celebrities in trouble too. One of them being the Kardashians. Instead of her going to court, you know what many of them like her did? They paid a fine to the SEC for promoting these fake crypto, fake NFTs, all that stuff. And this is what people like this guy here is doing to their own Black community. Knowing that a lot of people aren't even educated and understand cryptocurrency in general. So y'all make sure y'all check out that playlist. It's a lot to learn about that. Stay away from that stuff. If you don't fully understand it, you don't know how it's actually sold and traded on the actual open market, and you can't even use it to pay your mortgage if you needed to, child, please leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Hopefully you guys understand it. I stopped using, Bernard said, I stopped using Bitcoin to make money. Yes. Let's see here. Durka says, that's what they do. They screaming at people. When I was in the 4th grade, our school took us to NYC and they were screaming at us being white devils. We were Latinos. You can't make this up. Are you serious? RT said she was a black kid for a brief moment, a Hebrew Israelite. They do study the Bible. They use the Bible as a weapon to prove that they know the truth, and everyone else is uneducated sheep. It sounds like a cult. Anytime you have someone saying, "Oh, well, you guys don't know anything. You guys are sheep. You need to wake up," like Candace Owens does. This is why we call her a cult leader. It's this cult of personality. Everybody else is asleep except her and some bots. No, but why do that if you feel like you're telling the truth? You don't have to say everybody. Have you ever heard me say that? People need to wake up to this. No, I'm not gonna say stuff like that because it's the same thing you hear from these so-called cult leaders and scammers. Everybody need to wake up. People are asleep. People are not buying it anymore. Just put out the facts and then let people disseminate what they want from it. Let them take what they want out of it. Don't sit here and say everybody else is asleep because people are opposing you and criticizing the crap that's coming out of your mouth. If you are telling the truth and presenting facts and evidence, you don't need to tell people to wake up or to say, I'm not lying. I tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Just put out your evidence. That's how I feel. I'm just, when I hear stuff like that, child, that's the first alarm to have me believe, yeah, this person is sitting here trying to dupe people because they're sitting here talking about people need to wake up. Nope. If you got facts to present, Candace, post up that FBI text message. Otherwise, go sit your ass down, girl. You can't make stuff up like that. So truth matters. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let's get back to it, y'all. Thank goodness Polight is in jail.
It's gonna hurt to drop $100. Obviously, do your due diligence, do your research, and we can break that down in the course. How to analyze the market, how to analyze the fundamentals of the rarity of the coin, how often it's printed.
Let me tell you, to the naked.
If it's fake, it's fake. Of course, it's going to be rare because it's fake. But you can't analyze a market when the actual coins are not being traded on the open market. If they're only valued at less than a penny, a fraction of a penny, why do you need to know how that's being traded? You're not getting any ROI out of that. And this idiot standing here saying, "Oh, it's nothing for you to pay $100." But look who you're talking to. Look at who's your audience. You have Black people in this community living paycheck to paycheck, giving them false hope that they're going to make all this money from buying tokens that is a fraction of a penny. And when we say penny, we're talking about US dollar. A fraction of a penny? Oh, it's nothing for you to put down $100. Well, what makes you think that would not be a struggle for them? What makes you think that would not be a hard time for them to do that? I mean, just idiocracy all around.
People see him, he just seems like he's just a quiet, Rastafarian looking dude who might be blowing on some real good sticky. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to really talk to him about what he does, he is also a master farmer. You know, he has knowledge in aquaponics, but in general, the basic convention of agriculture, he deals with that too. He's a real good brother, man. I'm so proud of him. I mentor him. I mentor this brother and never cease to amaze me. He's very good. So we're going to incorporate the cryptocurrency information. I mean,
How are you mentoring somebody on something you know nothing about again? How is he mentoring the other dude about crypto investments when he doesn't know anything about it? Then what are you mentoring him on? If it's essaying on children, that's a horrible thing to mentor somebody about.
You have for the mentorship, trust me, we teach you for, if you were to do the mentorship for 1 week to a week and a half, there's no way you could say that you're not making any bread or making any monies off of this information.
Although Crypto Roots was 100% on board with starting the course, unknown to him, Brother Polight had no interest in starting the course at all. Instead, Crypto Roots himself was being targeted as the next scam victim.
I feel people are owed an explanation of why the crypto course isn't happening. And the real reason is because Polight owes me over $100,000. The money I gave him was from my...
What? He took $100,000 from this guy? Better question. Why did you give him $100 grand and he could not explain to you anything about crypto? And what makes this person, not that I'm saying that he should have been scammed. $100,000 is a lot of damn money. It's funny how these candy ass cult followers want me to get $7,000, but don't think I'm worth the actual $144,000. I mean, $2 million. I mean, whatever. $7 grand. That's it. That's the cap. What? Why would he give Polight $100 grand without having some contract in place guaranteeing him that he was going to be able to do these series? And if something happened, now you can sue him for breach of contract. And what licensure or certification does he have in being able to teach someone about investments in general, let alone investments with cryptocurrency? What's his certification? You know, these YouTube financial analysts get on my nerve.
Father's life insurance. He ended up using me, and him and his family were living off me. I was paying for everything. His cars were rented. I didn't even realize what was happening. What? And every time I got uncomfortable, and he would just either yell at me or like say, "Oh, I get it, I understand. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna make a lot of money." And I'm thinking, damn, I didn't want to ruin this opportunity of, meeting my master teacher and, possibly making. So I gave up more and more bread that I wasn't comfortable giving up. And it got so bad, I ended up basically being homeless in LA. Like, this dude just did not looking out for me. I slept in his car so many nights. Like, I paid for his plane. I paid for everything. And to this day, I haven't even received 1% of it back. Everybody says this dude's a scammer. Everybody says this dude. And it's the truth. This dude fucking scammed me, dude. He fucking scammed me. Like, I'm so brokenhearted. And he wants me to continue to do business with him, and he won't even pay me any money. Like, none. I just want
you. First of all, don't do business with someone if you cannot come to the table with a damn contract. He had to know that Polight was supporting someone named Dr. York. He had to know that. He had to know that this Saul Sit thing is a scam. That them putting out liens against judges' homes and all that is a scam and illegal. He had to know that. All that time he spent around Polight, and he never asked him to show any evidence that he had a successful business model. Or, if we're going to do business, just like with any other business person, especially if they're trying to be professional and do things the right way, we need a contract. I'm not paying for anything from flight food. I don't care if it's a McDonald's meal for $12. I'm not paying for anything under the promise that I'm going to make all this money back and to do business with you without a contract in place. And everything needs to be written down. Be meticulous and be very specific on everything. With $100,000, he could have paid an attorney to help draft a contract with Polight. And then Polight, of course, being the scammer he is, once you see he's not willing to sign it, that should let you know everything you need to know. I'm not doing business with that clown. He won't even sign a contract with me. So he can kiss my ass. Like, it should have been that simple. You don't owe him anything. This man was paying for his flights and planes and all this stuff. And Polight, yet again, had no job because, he wrote over 90-some books and none of them seemed to have profited him. So he's living off of other people's money. This man was funding Polight's lifestyle and the lifestyle of these 3 wives, so-called, that are not legal wives. One of them had 3 children. So you can see clearly, okay, he doesn't have a job. As opposed to him keeping the restaurant open, he closes it up to do a scam about corrections on credit reports, a scam for some insurance policy with no licensed certified underwriter supporting this. It's not coming through a regular company or anything. And then he turns around and has this dude spend $100 grand. Polight didn't care about spending this man's money. Therefore, he should have cared more about giving his money to Polight. $100,000. Do you know what I could do with that?
my money back. Him and his family lived off my father's life insurance money, and when I had no more left, he just like whatever, like, you know, he treated me like I was one of his wives or something. Like, I just had to listen and drive him around, drive his family around. I had to pay for everything, and he was like, "Oh, your investment, it's investing. Oh, you're investing." You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, like, damn, like, and it got so bad. I just said, you know, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore, bro. I left. I left LA and went to Mexico with whatever money I had left, because this dude was just planning to use me and dry, and he still hasn't paid me. He just treated me like I was just some bitch that he could just use for money. And you know, and he did. He still he just doesn't. He's ignoring my calls. He won't, you know, nothing back. So I'm devastated. Like, I don't even want to go tell you what's, you know what I'm saying, going on in my head.
After months of trying to get a hold of Brother Polight to no avail, Crypto Roots couldn't take it anymore and went on a tirade which seemed completely out of character.
Yo, direct message to Polight. Yo, what up, bitch ass nigga?
Yeah. I mean, do you expect him to do anything else? I wouldn't be shocked for this to be his response, because he spent $100,000 and he ended up homeless. And honestly, you know, that goes to I think one of y'all made the point that, you know, or Hassan Campbell said it in this video. It's only so bad you can feel, because after a while you have to start saying, okay, I don't have to give you money. I don't have to pay for anything. You're not God. I don't owe you anything. At some point, I would think after, you know, a couple $1,000s, he would have just stopped and said, listen, you're going to have to sign a contract with me. And that's a good point you raised too on Stoic, that the books Polight wrote were more like pamphlets, because I was just about to ask, how did he, you know, afford, you know, a publisher and all this other stuff to write an actual, you know, legitimate book. So the pamphlets aren't, you know, books, of course. Just like a newsletter. You can have that typed up, printed out, make massive copies of it, and then sell the actual newsletter. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a book. So that's a good point you made. Shout out to you for pointing that out. 90 books is absurd, but when you can't, you know, get an actual book published and do it the right way, yeah, that sounds about right. It's nothing more than a pamphlet. And he was charging people for this pamphlet where he still couldn't express any, you know, valuable information, because he's not licensed, you know, certified or even educated enough to speak on a lot of the topics that he brought up. The real estate thing, the license policy, the life insurance policies is just that's a whole new scam for me. That's a whole new one. I never heard of that one.
What's up, bitch, little boy? Mother. Finally, somebody with credibility, somebody with higher. You put me on your platform, bitch. You decided to scam me. You manifested me, mother. I manifested you, and you manifested me. You built me, bro. You're going down. It's wartime. It's war. It's war. It's war. It's your family versus mine, Polight. Straight up. Your family versus mine. You think you could disgrace me? Think you could take me down? Just dismiss me like that? Bro, that's the biggest mistake of your life, of your career. And you need to be taken down.
Polight doesn't have a career. He didn't even have a job. He was a scammer. A snake oil salesman. That's it.
I'm not gonna let you take my father's life insurance, disrespect me, and dismiss me. I'm scamming people, and you scammed up many other people, and I'm stopping that shit, bro. I'm going to war, Polight. And I also want to give a shout out to my lady, man. I just want to say, I already tell her every day. I just want to tell her publicly, give her a shout out. I love you. I appreciate it. I wouldn't have made it without you. You know what I'm saying? So we got these dogs. I wouldn't have made it out with made it this far without you, baby girl. So shout out to all the good, beautiful women who are supporting and taking care of their man through tough times.
Sadly, Crypto Roots would never see a dime of his money back. In 2021, just 2 weeks after the birth of his first child, he would pass away during the COVID-19 pandemic due to complications from asthma.
My husband had asthma. And this early morning, like at 6 a.m. in Mexico, he started having an asthmatic attack, and the ambulance never came, and I had to take him to the hospital.
The ambulance never came. That's malpractice. You call now. What country is she in? Are they in the U.S.? They're still in the U.S.? You call the paramedics in the United States of America and they never came. You sue them for malpractice and for negligence. It is their duty to come out to a medical emergency. Sue them. You can't make this up.
And I didn't make it. And
I will sue them.
I wanted to share this with you because you would tell me not to cry and to toughen up. I wanted to share this with you because you care for him and you message him and you come to him constantly due to mentorships and just sharing love, because he shared a lot of love and a lot of knowledge. He was all into the revolution and all into education and all into peace and good things. He was a really good man and a great father.
Oh, I know what I must do now. I know what I must do now.
This asshole is showing off a car. I'm not saying anything about this guy that lost his life to COVID and now has nothing to pass down to his, it said that was his wife. Nothing to pass down to the wife or the child. And you think Polight would have given her money to help take care of the baby? No. You know, because cult leader don't like words, mean words. They take everything as an attack, and then they're vindictive and retaliatory and soulless and evil and stupid. You think he would ever reach out to this lady to say, you know what? For the sake of this child here, I want to try to do the right thing. Try to show that you're not trying to, scam somebody out of $100,000. Wouldn't he actually try to find a way to have paid this dude back, even if he had to do installments? My question would be, why didn't he sue Polight? Why didn't he sue him? He could have taken all the receipts and stuff he paid for those flights and all that stuff and could have taken him to court and say that, there was some, at the very least, if he could prove a contract implied, even if it was based on something verbal, to which I don't advocate for, everything needs to be in writing. Both parties need to sign documents. And if someone is hesitant on it and they claim they're a businessman, that should give you enough leverage to see that they're not legitimate. They're not serious about this. But is Polight going to sit here and help take care of this baby? Hell no. He's exactly where he belongs, in prison. Polight is in prison, and that's where he belongs.
In order to become successful, you gotta have no ceiling. Sky ain't the limit. Space is.
What? That was his comment. You can't make this up. Y'all, shout out to Hood Horrors. Oh my God. Please make sure you check out Hood Horrors YouTube channel. He is a fantastic content creator, and I love his storytelling and the way that he edits and puts these videos together. This is the stuff people need to look out for. These scammers like Umar and Polight, that Floyd Folk, is it Folk? That he looked up to. They're scammers. And they live off the backs of their own community. Black people living check to check, struggling. Some may not have enough money to pay all their bills at the same time. May not even be able to cover rent with one check. And these are the same people they want donating to them. They want to have their lifestyle funded. They don't go outside of the Black community like that because they know it will raise too many alarms. You think he's sitting here? Polight never scammed people who had millions to hundreds of millions of dollars. He didn't scam those people. No, he scammed people like this young man that had an inheritance from his father for 100 grand. But they won't go like Umar. He won't go to these wealthy so-called donors and ask them to put up money to do anything to a school building anywhere on earth, because he knows that person is going to demand accountability. They want to know exactly how you're spending that money. They want to get a tax statement for them to use for their taxes. That's why Umar does not go to those type of people. But he still wants regular black people living check to check, working, having multiple kids, some of them single mothers, single fathers. No, those are the people he wants to put money in his PayPal. These people are evil. They're evil. So shout out to Hood Horrors. This video was posted up 2 days ago, and I'm so glad we got to it. Thank y'all so much. Listen, I never demand any financial contribution. I always leave that open-ended. And if anyone wants to donate, they can. If not, make sure you just hit the like button. Subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. We're just trying to get to 30,000 right now. And I believe that it's just going to be a smooth sail up to 50, because this information is vital. People need to recognize the signs of a cult leader, of a scammer, someone that has ill intentions. They don't care about their own community, and they don't give back to their own community. Everything for them is like an opportunity. 90 pamphlets he's selling to people, selling courses, selling this, selling that. It's never just, I'm offering this for free to help the community be more educated on something. Nope. It's always a gimmick. Same thing with Umar. It's a gimmick. He'll sell a book before he just gives some of them away so that people can read it. Nope. Too much lightweight. Can't make this up. Thank y'all so much, man. Listen. Thank you, S Files. I appreciate it. This is the YouTube channel for Hood Horrors. Please, please, please make sure you go over there and show him some love. I enjoy his series, whether he's talking about Nature Boy or Polight. I'm going to watch it either way. He is fantastic. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's get some comments in right quick. Stoic said he didn't care. He couldn't care less. Not at all. Black Anonymous said it's sad, of course. And then for the guy to pass away during COVID. I mean, it's just unfortunate. Let's see. S File said, for instance, these people don't have feelings. No, they don't have a soul. Now, Black Anonymous said there's a picture of Polight with all of all people, Denzel Washington. You might be able to find it. Oh, wow. So he takes a picture with Denzel Washington, but he didn't ask Denzel to give him some money. They never asked the rich people. Denzel Washington. I wonder how Denzel Washington feels about Polight now. You can't make this up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Now I want to see this. Now I'm just curious. Polight with photo picture with Denzel Washington. And what's so crazy is Denzel Washington's kids, two of his sons are also well-known actors in their own right. He doesn't even sit here and pamper his own kids. They've set their own path. And you got somebody like Polight, that he's even able to get close to a Denzel to take a photo with him. You can't make this up. I'm trying to see if I can find that photo. Maybe I need to put in brother. I just don't even want to have to refer to him as that, because he's such an evil being. If you guys come across it, I'm not seeing it, but if you guys come across a photo with Polight and Denzel, please make sure you email it to me. I wouldn't be surprised if that photo was taken down, because you can't blame Denzel. Why would he want to be affiliated with somebody like a Polight or have a photo up with him? But I'm still looking for it. I don't see it. Here are some photos of Denzel with his sons. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So y'all, if you come across it, let me know. If I missed it, just let me know which way I need to scroll. Yeah, if it was up, I can assure you he probably wanted that photo taken down so he didn't have any ties or connections. Because I just find it hard to believe that Denzel is that bad of a judge of character to sit here and want to, have any dealings with Polight. I highly doubt it. Yeah, because I could be wrong. So if you got the photo, please let me know. Send it to me. I'm not seeing it, but send me that photo so we can check it out. Polight is in prison. He's where he needs to be. And here's the information that I was trying to find earlier about the black Israel Hebrew the Hebrew Israelites being considered domestic terroristic threat. But this is saying more so back in 2017, leaked copy of an FBI report on black identity extremists sparked an outcry from activist civil rights groups in Congress who criticized the Bureau for portraying disparate groups and individuals as a single movement, even though the only common factor was that those associated with the term were Black Americans. Those critics also faulted the FBI for for equating isolated attacks against law enforcement with those perpetuated by white supremacists, which even the FBI said represent the majority of domestic terror attacks in recent years. So they were trying to say that these black identity groups were considered domestic terrorists, but didn't really name the Hebrew Israelites. So I'm assuming they just lumping them into this black identity extremist group in general. So this is I'll drop the link to this so you guys can read and check it out. There are a lot of pro-black organizations that aren't volatile or violent. They're not acting like a cult. They're actually trying to help people. So no, if you're just gonna say, okay, you identify as a majority black group or organization, yeah, you should be considered a domestic terrorist. No, it's only the ones that go out and commit violent crimes and violent acts like that, to where you can show evidence that they're connected to this group. That's how I see it. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We're gonna do a live stream on Umar. And give me 5 minutes and we'll get that going because I really want to check out what's going on with him and this court matter with Lene Stacks. That's on Lennon Honors channel. So thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you all. And we will do the next episode once it premieres from Hood Horrors. But this is definitely a learning tool, man. You can't miss out on this right here. And then we're gonna also do Nature Boy and Carbonation tomorrow because I want to make sure that I'm staying on task with those series so we can finish it out. So shout out to Hood Hoarders. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.